Greetings, Capricorn. The new moon takes place in your first house of attitudes and appearances, which shows that you are wanting to move forward in at least one area of your life. You are likely to be open to change at this time, but your sensitivity is really heightened, especially when it comes to picking up on the thoughts and feelings of others, which can cause you to feel irritated, especially if they are not on your wavelength when it comes to getting things done or organised. It will be hard for you to hold on to your patience and curb your demands. Your moods can be quite changeable at this time too. Your energy levels are probably up and down at the moment, which can also cause you some frustration. Working with your shadow would be very beneficial for you at this time, as the Yod, the Black Moon Lilith and the Grand Cross are bringing up issues around self-defensiveness and creates a blind spot when it comes to your emotional patterns. Mars and Uranus reach an exact conjunction on the 13th of February in your 4th house of home and family, so a sudden change or shift could happen within your home environment, or it could be a change of routine that is needed. Creative family time would be a good thing to have as a top priority on your agenda. Greetings, Aquarius. The new moon takes place in your 13th house of the unconscious mind and what we keep hidden from our external world. In this instance, you are likely to want some time to yourself for quiet reflection, but may find it difficult to get the time or the space that you need. This could lead you into feeling very frustrated and moody, which then leads into confrontations with those close to you. Beware of coming across as uncooperative or resentful. Maybe you feel that you are already doing enough and that others aren't seeing the bigger picture when it comes to your input. Or Aquarius, it could be you that is failing to see how others are supporting you. Either way, you may need to make a sacrificial choice to be able to stay on more solid ground and build a firm foundation for your future security. Mars will reach an exact conjunction with Uranus on the 13th of February in your 3rd house of the mind, siblings and local environment. You must stay grounded and not rush into anything. Try to think before you speak. Greetings, Pisces. The new moon takes place in your 12th house of friends and group activities. It could be that you need to acquaint yourself with people that are not just on your wavelength, but to those who value your generosity and allow you to be yourself. The grand aspects show that you may still be battling with issues of self-worth or fears of rejection. You must not allow others to overshadow your own unique creativity or your public image. The blind spot here is regarding your relationships. Maybe you are afraid of showing your true feelings due to a lack of self-esteem, and this seems to be a repetitive cycle that needs to be broken. It's not a case of you being true to yourself. It's a case of you seeing the beauty in yourself. Mars conjuncts Uranus on the 13th of February in your 2nd house of money and self-value. There will be a sudden shift or change within your finances or regarding your boundaries. I feel that you need to be mindful regarding your finances. Take your time in making decisions that revolve around money. Greetings, Aries. The new moon takes place in your 11th house of career and public image, and it's likely that you are spending a lot of time trying to move forward in this area, putting in a lot more effort or hours than you are contracted to do. Or it could be that your work involves working odd hours and not the usual 9 to 5 scenario. Watch out for running yourself into the ground. You may need to take some time out to concentrate on a more personal area of your life, whether this is time spent on a relationship or more time on your family or home life. It could also be that you need some quality time for your own personal needs. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to your daily routine or your schedule. There seems to be issues around fairness and equality. Certain things have probably come to light, and you may not know what to do about it. Follow your instincts and do what feels right for you. Your ruling planet Mars reaches a conjunction with Uranus in your sign on the 13th of February, which is your first house. So a sudden shift or change in the way you express yourself could take place. Your self-control could almost be impossible for you to maintain, but at the same time it may be necessary for you to take a risk and reveal what you are truly feeling. Just make sure that any decision that you make, you will be happy to stick with. Greetings, Taurus. The new moon takes place in your 10th house of your inner temple and hidden gifts. Your intuition is very strong, and you may be seeing a lot of symbols and synchronicities that just cannot be denied. If you are not already in touch with your spiritual power, then now is the time to tap into that side of yourself. The spirit realms are very close to you at this time, so trust that any feelings or insights that are coming in will be a great source of guidance for you. There could be issues that arise regarding a relationship or money matters that is likely to be weighing you down. The blind spot created by the aspects are to do with support. You do have the support from certain close people and definitely from the spirit realms, but you are unable to see or feel it. It's a case of developing a blind faith, Taurus, and that is not easy for you to do. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 13th house of the subconscious mind on the 13th of February, so there could be a shift in your awareness where either a sudden realization emerges or a shocking revelation. Greetings, Gemini. The new moon takes place in your 9th house of completion and ending of cycles. You have an inventive mind, but maybe just a little bit too idealistic with your expectations. You are digging deep into what is holding your interest at present. This is a time of new beginnings in a literal sense for you. Just beware of being too much in your own head and take into consideration the people around you. Maybe you are just becoming a little bit too obsessed with something. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to home and family. Maybe you are concentrating too much on a relationship issue. Unconditional love should be your focus and area of development at this present time. Not just unconditional love for others, but for yourself too. Mars will conjunct Uranus in your 12th house of friends and group activities, so there could be a sudden shift or change within this area. Beware of coming across too forceful. Follow your heart and find a balance of give and take in your communication with others. Greetings, Cancer. The new moon takes place in your 8th house of balancing resources and partnerships. You are likely to feel very sensitive and empathic at this time. Beware of being overgenerous and weigh up the pros and cons of a situation that revolves around money or partnerships. Your instincts are strong, so listen to what they are telling you. Maybe you are starting to recognize certain patterns or synchronicities that have played out on your life's journey. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to your creative projects, ideas or communications. Maybe you are in fear of being let down in some way, or there may be a need for you to change your outlook. There seems to be a need too, with these aspects of you getting more in touch with your divine feminine energy and develop a spiritual unity within with your divine masculine energy. You are yearning for change, but must give yourself the time needed to make the right decision. Mars will conjunct Uranus in your 11th house of career, and this is where the change or shift will happen. You may take your career forward into something new or change your career path completely. Greetings, Leo. The new moon takes place in your 7th house of relationships, both personal and business. There may be a need for you to be more positive or realistic regarding this area of your life. If single, then maybe you are fed up of being alone and yearn to share some of your responsibilities with another. But whether you are in a relationship or not, there seems to be a need for you to be more positive about your expectations of how a relationship should be. Whatever the case, relationships will be dominating your mood this new moon. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to you valuing your own originality, or maybe you need to be more realistic in how you handle your money. Psychological factors may be taking its toll on your health too. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 10th house of your inner temple. You could suddenly reach a realization regarding your spiritual awareness, or discover a new scientific or metaphysical gift. At the least, there will be a shift in your belief structure, which will also aid you into looking after yourself better. Greetings, Virgo. The new moon takes place in your 6th house of health and work. Maybe there is a need to reassess your priorities, or maybe you need to recharge your batteries. The new moon is the perfect time to start a new exercise or health regime. It seems to be a very busy time for you at the moment. It's important that you don't forget to nourish yourself. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to your mind-body connection. You are likely to be too focused on logic and reason rather than your emotional needs. Maybe there is something that is coming to a completion in your life, but you are unable to express what you are truly feeling about it. Beware of suppressing your emotions. Recognize the need for balance in some area of your life that needs proper attention. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 9th house of completion and ending of cycles, so there could be a sudden shift or change in your outlook on life, or a recognition that your life needs to change in some way. Greetings, Libra. The new moon takes place in your 5th house of creativity, fun and youth. You may want to ignore your responsibilities and have some fun, or concentrate on something more creative and joyful. It seems that whatever the distraction is, that you are finding it difficult to concentrate. There also seems to be an issue around give and take in a relationship, although you are working very hard at rectifying whatever that issue is. Your ruling planet, Venus, is in your 4th house. So you do want to work on creating a firmer foundation in your life. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to the need for you to move forward with your creative ideas or your communications. Maybe some sort of sacrifice is needed for you to be able to move forward on your path. Your wisdom will be needed to help you to find that balance. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 8th house of equal opportunities, so there could be a shift or a change in joint ventures or your life's path. Greetings, Scorpio. The new moon is taking place in your 4th house of family and home. So there could be a need for some changes in this area of your life that might be taking up a lot of your time, especially if family dynamics are involved. Or it could be that you are having some issues with a neighbour or a member of your community. You have the wisdom you need to push through this, but you must not neglect yourself in the process. Maybe you are feeling a bit insecure about the changes that are taking place, and are feeling a bit unsure of what actions another may take. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to getting support from your friends or a group of people outside of this situation. Equality issues may be the cause of the struggle that you are undergoing at present. Beware of pushing yourself too hard. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 7th house of relationships. So a change or a shift could occur regarding a relationship or partnership, or how you relate in general. Maybe reaching out to others will give you the support that you need. Greetings, Ophiuchus. The new moon is taking place in your 3rd house of communications, local environment, and the inner child. You could be feeling quite motivated in your communication with others, or feeling the need to get outside into the fresh air. They say that a change is as good as a rest, so give yourself the time needed to do this. Jupiter in your sign and in trine to Mars is giving you a lot of energy and enthusiasm. But you must also develop discipline to make the most of this energy. The grand aspects are creating a blind spot when it comes to your career and life direction, especially when it comes to making the most of your creative talents. Maybe you are struggling to express your creativity due to a childhood wound that has made you too self-conscious, or a wound that is connected to a past relationship that was abusive and caused you to lack self-value. It's time to let go and free yourself from any injustices of the past and express yourself creatively. You have a lot to offer the world. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 6th house of health and work. So a sudden change with your health or within your work are likely to shift or change in some way that can benefit you as long as you are putting in the work on your psychological, physical and spiritual health. Greetings, Sagittarius. The new moon takes place in your 2nd house of finances and self-worth. Whatever the case may be, it is likely to be unbalanced. You have been under a lot of pressure, Sagittarius, especially with both Saturn and Pluto in your sign, which creates a dominating and overwhelming presence in your life. You could be dealing with someone who is very egoistical, or it could be that you yourself is retaliating in this way. This would be a good time for you to delve deep into your soul. It will be in that place where you can find the inner peace and solace that you need. You may even reach an epiphany moment in that place. The grand aspects of creating a blind spot when it comes to seeing the bigger picture with regards to your outlook on life and or your personal philosophy. There seems to be a need for fairness with regards to shared responsibilities. Take the time needed for self-reflection and to find that inner peace that is needed. Mars conjuncts Uranus in your 5th house of creativity, fun and youth. Make sure that any competitiveness comes from a place of fun, especially if it involves a relationship. Beware of taking unnecessary risks, unless you know 100% that it's for the better.